Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review, and this time we are looking at the Masashi Kobo Damascus SLD Gyuto 240mm knife. This line of knives has a core steel of SLD, kind of high-speed tool steel. It is categorized as semi-stainless because I believe it's 13% chromium content is the minimum required for full stainless rating, and this can have anywhere from like 11 to 12 to 13%, so it's categorized as semi-stainless, so it should resist staining quite well, but might get a little bit of patina or some water stains and such on it, but almost stainless, we'll call it that. Heat treat rating, about 61 Rockwell on that core steel. The construction does have a softer stainless layered Damascus style cladding over the top of that core steel. So stainless over semi-stainless. The weight on the knife, and you can see the blade is mirror polished, so I'll try to keep the reflections down if I can keep an eye on my monitor. The weight on the knife is about 225 grams or 7.9 ounces. As we'll see, these are fairly blade heavy because that's their style. We'll look at that. The blade length is 253, so this is a biggie in terms of a 240. It's over 250 plus, and this will vary knife to knife a little bit. Overall length about 400 millimeters. Spine thickness above the back of the heel or chin back here coming out of the handles about 3.3 millimeters. And then we'll get a close-up look, but one of the great things about this line of knives and everything I've seen from this maker is they've got a great distal taper that's just almost continuous all the way to hit the, kind of the generous grind. So real thin tip, even though you got a fair amount of beef coming out of the handle. The blade height is quite generous. These are known as tall Gyutos. That's their style. 55.2 is the height on this particular one at the back of the heel there, the chin. And they have a no frills, D-shaped, kind of burnt chestnut handle with a black plastic ferrule. You do have a step here between the wood and the ferrule. Nothing fancy. You've actually got a surprising amount of tactile feel. These do feel pretty decent in the hand, actually, and the texture of the wood helps your grip. So they're serviceable, very light. Definitely not expensive looking handles, but they actually do the job pretty nicely in terms of just actual feel. The handle circumference is about 82 millimeters or 3¼ inches right here. So a little bit bigger than your standard 3-inch to support the larger blade height. And let's take a close-up look. Fit and finish on these knives is quite good. It's actually excellent. And you can see the mirror polish quite easily. And they also have a nicely chiseled kanji, but it's a little hard to tell that just with the mirror finish on this and all the lighting I have. Here's the spine. Nice easing on the spine. These are great to go out of the box. Fit and finish, as I said, is excellent. And it gets real thin at the tip. The choil is eased extremely well. Nice and rounded. These are every bit as good as like a Fujiyama Konesuke type of feel to them. Real nice grind. You can run your fingers down the knife and feel the grind. And it starts fairly high up and gets nice and thin towards the edge. So these are just really well crafted. Again, handle, nothing special. Let's back out a little bit. We'll look at our balance point. The balance points are pretty far forward because these handles are quite light and the blade is tall and it's not super duper laser thin. So there's some mass here. So your balance point's generally going to be in front of a pinch grip. So there's the balance point. My pinch grip's back here. So you have a fair amount of blade heavy mass to assist cutting. These knives are completely worthy of custom handles if you want to upgrade the handles. And a heavier handle would bring that balance point back if you wish to do so. Here is a choil shot, so they get nice and thin back here. The grinds are really exceptionally well done on these. And the other big characteristic of these knives, besides being tall, is they have a long flat spot and an aggressive belly towards the tip. That's just the way they do their Gyuto knives. So let's take a look at that on a cutting board. So if you want a flat spot, these have a flat spot. So this baby cranks into a big old long stop here. There's no back belly or very touch a little bit, but I mean your flat spot is basically there. So you got a nice long flat spot for push cutting and chopping, and then an aggressive belly towards the tip, and you can rock way high on these things, way up there. And it flows nicely into that flat spot. So Kind of a little different style profile than a lot of Gyuto knives. You can see the tip comes almost halfway up the blade, almost a spear point kind of shape to the blade. So, give you one more look at that. Didn't think of my cutting board there very well, did I? So, there you go. So, if you're looking for an all stainless over semi-stainless tall Gyuto with some mass to it and a nice look, really well done execution, great fit and finish. Really nice distal taper, but these are kind of heavy. They got some mass to them, but beautifully done. So there you have a really nice lineup. The Masashi Kobo Damascus SLD Gyuto 2 40mm knife.